Welcome, everyone, to the third edition of Monsters Flashback, presented by HDS Brand Solutions for all your promotional merchandise, print solutions, brand management, and corporate apparel needs. Visit hdsideas.com. Tony Brown here with you. Very happy to be joined all the way on the West Coast by Jock Callender. And Jocko, today we're looking back to November the 1st. It was a Friday night at the Fieldhouse in a memorable 2-1 overtime win over the Charlotte Checkers that ended with a penalty shot game winner in OT from Nathan Gerbe. A really memorable game, and looking forward to watching this one.
Yeah, it was a great game and a quality opponent, with Charlotte winning the Calder Cup the year before, and they were a solid team, a fast, big team, and it was a definitely great test for the Monsters, and with coming out on top, it gave them a lot of confidence.
It certainly did early in the season, and this was a point in the season before the Monsters faced all their injury troubles, before all of those call-ups really changed the makeup of the team. All the big guns were in the lineup: Nathan Gerbe, Zach Delpy, and the list goes on. But with Nathan Gerbe and his time with Cleveland, he's been one of those players that on a night-to-night basis always finds a way to factor in to the outcome of the game, and this was a classic Nathan Gerbe effort in this one.
Yeah, the goal was fabulous, the penalty shot goal in overtime. But, Nathan, he puts everything into the game. He's got skill, speed, hard work. He plays physical. He does all the things. He leads by example out there, and he's a great leader off the ice also. And he had a big game there leading the Monsters to the win.
Yeah, he does all those things you expect a captain to do, and also does all those little things that veteran players do in the AHL to help young guys make their way through this league. So I'm really excited to watch this one back. Jock, without further ado, let's get to the action. The opening face-off coming up here. It's the Monsters and Charlotte Checkers from Cleveland's 2-1 home overtime win on November the 1st. Enjoy it, everybody, on Monsters Flashback, presented by HDS Brand Solutions.
Do the honors for the Monsters as the puck is down. We're underway in the first period of this one, as the draw controlled by Cleveland, and it is Sherwood dumping into his offensive zone. He's after it against McEwen. Throws a hit on the end wall of the Monsters' offensive end, and then from the left point, Scott fills in for Carlson, but Cleveland can't hold the line. Charlotte will dump into the Monsters zone, and this will be touched up. It's icing against the Checkers. Face off all the way back into the Charlotte defensive end. Well, horrifying, shocking, and sad news today in the American Hockey League just broke this afternoon. While the team was on the road in Winnipeg preparing for weekend games against the Manitoba Moose, the Grand Rapids Griffins lost their video coach, Bill Leroy, in unexpected fashion. He'd been the video coach with the Griffins since 2001, a run of almost 20 years that featured 2 Calder Cup championships. So to Bill Leroy and his family, we're thinking of you, and for all of the Griffins staff members and players who established great relationships with Bill and enjoyed his great contributions to the club over his near 2 decades of service with the Griffins. We send our well wishes, and our hearts go out to all of you, and most of all to Bill's family. A huge loss for the entire league, but a massive loss to the Griffins in such shocking fashion. So thinking of Bill and the Griffins tonight. Offside here for the Checkers as we're back to action. Opening minute, period 1. No score. Monsters, Checkers. Matchup of a couple of recent Calder Cup championship teams. Checkers controlling this draw, heading into the offensive zone. A shot attempt from the left point was blocked away. Now retreating there was Gustav Forsling, former Rockford Ice Hawk, former Chicago Blackhawks prospect. Prisky holds it in at the right point. Bounce down the wall. Bishop here for the Checkers leans on this puck, right side of the Monsters' defensive zone. And the puck will be shoved up and out of the Cleveland end by Kevin Stenlund. It's a foot race now for Forsling and Stefan Matteau. And Matteau got around the defenseman. Forsling nudged one towards Nedeljkovic in the Charlotte net, but it's forced out to center again. Max McCormick now enters for the Checkers. Feeds one to the far corner. Big hit delivered there as down on his wallet goes the puck carrier, Clark Bishop, thanks to Andrew Peak. And now Kid Lennox makes a nice save on a shot out on the right side of the O-zone for Charlotte. Monsters goaltender has his first denial of the game. Clock stops, 18:25 to go in the first. No score. Fans of the Monsters would like to thank University Hospital Sports Medicine, the Vision Development Team, Eastlake Dental Arts, and Bubanic Chiropractic for being the official medical team of the Cleveland Monsters. Draw will be taken right side of the defensive end here by Dalpe. Long shot there from the line, and that bounced wide of Kivlenix. May have been tipped off the stick of Kyle Wood. Careens into the far corner, and now it's behind the goal line. Reaching out, Eric Robinson there. Got a big piece of his counterpart. That was Morgan Geekie. And the puck bounces free behind the Monsters' net for a pickup by Doyle Summerby. He'll wedge forward out of the reach of Robinson. Batted down high slot. Gauthier feeds it to Lorentz near corner. And he is neutralized by Anton Carlson for the Monsters. Back in for Cleveland for his 4th consecutive appearance in the Monster defensive corps. Puck wedged around the far side, bouncing out towards the Charlotte line. Now it is fed there, but with control, stopping up left point, shot blocked. Nice job done by Zach Dalpe, and the puck bounces free to the near side of the Cleveland end, where it will be powered off the glass and out by Eric Robinson. 17:30 left in this first period as a puck dribbles in front of Kivlenix. He'll grab it and hang on. Stops time 17:29, as we said, left in a scoreless opening stanza. Talked to Mike Eaves, Monsters head coach, before the game today about managing the veteran limit. Only 6 can play in a game, and the Monsters have more than that on the roster.
We have a little extra challenge because we have a couple guys extra. That's a hard thing to deal with, but we talked about it right away with our veterans and our exempt guys and laid out the situation. So it's something that they're aware of, so that when we do come to them and have to make tough decisions, they're aware of it. We're not ambushing them.
Chance here for Cleveland into the offensive zone as the 4th line again generates off the rush. It was Turcoff feeding one towards Bittner. Obviously not a great situation for the coaching staff to have to tell a veteran and valuable player, in last weekend's case like Adam Clendenning, that he's not going to play in a game that he's healthy enough to play in. But that's what happens when you have over the veteran limit, and so the Monsters dealing with that. But so is every other team in the AHL. Something new to navigate for Mike Eaves, who returns to the AHL for the first time since the early 90s after a long run in the collegiate ranks and an extremely successful run at the University of Wisconsin and elsewhere, St. Olaf College, in the last 3 years. Monsters send one all the way down. A pass intended for Scott went by and was untouched, but icing washed out. 16:30 left in the first and no score. Behind Nedeljkovic in the Charlotte end to my left. Matheos lost control of this puck towards the left post there. The Monsters pick up. Scott snaps a pass. High slot. Simpson fires. He scores! Dylan Simpson! McCormick up the right side. His pass out of the reach there of Eetu Lostarinen. And the Monsters clear and will change all 4 penalty killers. Minute 15 remaining on the penalty to Gabriel Carlson. Out of the defensive zone, the Checkers leave one back on their own blue line as McCormick fed it to the line. It's turned over. Here's Robinson. Burst to speed. Short-handed chance. Gets around the defenseman on a breakaway into the backhand. He missed wide to the left. Could not get the finish there on what was a tremendous display of speed and acceleration from Robinson, turning a neutral zone turnover into a chance to score. 50 seconds left in the Gabriel Carlson tripping minor. 13:20 left in the first. 1-0 Cleveland. Through center. Nice takeaway for Justin Scott, lifting the stick there on Julien Gauthier. And it'll be cleared all the way back down for another pickup and lug on further for Chase Prisky. He lost the handle at center. This time Vigneault took it away, but he gave it back as Matheos intercepted a Vigneault pass intended for McInnes. 25 seconds left now as Charlotte back to regroup in their own zone on this Carlson minor. Gauthier streaking through center, dumps it into the left of Matisse Kivlenix. Puck rattles off the corner dasher, pushed into the far corner. Bouncing around in front of the Monsters net, settled there by Calvin Turcoff. His pass out of the reach of McInnes, but that should do it on the penalty kill. Cleveland 1-for-1 is stepping out of the box is Gabriel Carlson. Back to full and even strength go the Monsters with their 1-0 lead intact with now 12:29 remaining in the opening stanza. Big hit near circle. Summerby put down Max McCormick. The Monsters set a physical tone early here. McCormick having a hard time ego-wise dealing with the reception of that body check, and so he continues to go after Summerby, and now they're going to drop the gloves officially. Doyle had enough. He said, "You want it? Here it is on a plate." And he tosses some right hands as they continue to go after it behind the Monsters net. Good right hand for Summerby. Got the reach and size advantage here, but McCormick not shying away whatsoever. Nice uppercut for Doyle. Overhand right stings him on the left ear. And as the linesmen circle here, a left from McCormick. Oh, a big right from Summerby. Now he starts filling the scorecard with punishing right hands. And finally, the linesmen will end what was a spirited bout if not a one-sided one, in favor of the Cleveland defenseman. Face-off left side of the defensive end for Cleveland. They win it and push to center. After the fight, it remains 5-on-5. Fighting majors to Summerby and to McCormick. So a big hit from Summerby. Didn't sit well with McCormick. McCormick challenged him to a fight and then got what he wanted. Careful what you wish for. Now another penalty's coming here against Cleveland. Spinning try in front of the net, and the save made by Kivlenix, but afterward, more pushing and shoving here. Clendenning wouldn't take the bait offered by Ryan Horvat. The penalty's going against Cleveland, I do believe, as Mateau now having to be separated from Horvat. And Charlotte is a little hot under the collar to begin the game here. Unfortunately, back to the box, this time for hooking. It's Gabriel Carlsson for the second time in the game already. So power play 2 coming up here for the Checkers. They are 0 for 1. Monsters a resultant 1 for 1 on the kill. Monsters looked good on their first PK chance of this hockey game, and they're going to go back to a similar unit here. In fact, an identical one. Scott and Gerbe, Simpson and Peak. Face off left side of the defensive zone again for the Monsters. The power playing Checkers. Look to go 1 for 2. Prisky feeds across, left circle, Gauthier, big drive. That one blocked on its way to Kivlenix. Back now, it's Geekie, top of the right circle. His shot off the skate of Peak. Peak reaches out then and lunges to free one from Lorentz. Scaled around the glass towards Geekie. He held it in for Charlotte on the right point. But the Monsters persevere and flip one skyward as Simpson coaxed it to the Charlotte side of the center circle. Checkers dump back down. Monsters from behind their own net. Simpson up the right wall, intercepted Geekie, high slot. Prisky, that one slapped wide. Chase Prisky's been great to start this year. His numbers in a moment. Geekie on the right point. Holds it in for the Checkers. They lose control, though. The pass off the skate of Lorentz, and Kivlenix will cover it to the left post in his defensive zone. We mentioned Prisky there. Let's take a look. His 4 power play assists, second among rookies to start the year. His 8 points overall, third most among first-year skaters league-wide, tied for 4th most amongst defensemen. 6 helpers, that's also good for second place amongst the rookies. Are you getting the idea? Prisky with 2 goals, 8 points so far in his first 8 games. Out to a fabulous beginning to his AHL career. Face-off, left side of the D zone again. Monsters with 1:20 left on the Carlsson hook. 1-0 Cleveland. Checkers trying to tie with the extra man. Kuokkanen, top of the right circle after the draw in front for Gust, and he lifted that one just wide of the net. Might have gotten a piece of Kivlenix and then deflected skyward. Now to play. Now that's some good movement there. That's why Charlotte entered today's game with the best road power play in the league. On the draw, 8-2 Lostarinen. To his right, Jani Kuokkanen. Some good names. False start on this face-off. Delpy was jammed. So they'll try again. I believe both centermen will be allowed to continue participation-wise. Delpy again resets. Playing against the organization, at least, that he began his pro career with, as back in 2008, the Carolina Hurricanes drafted Zach Delpy and spent some significant time with the Checkers in Charlotte. Got a problem with the time on the clock here that will need to be reset, and so that's giving us just a moment to catch our breath. Face off again, now readied for and will be taken. To Kivlenix left, drawn back by Charlotte. Center point, fed top of the right circle, Kuokkanen across the zone, and Wood releases one that missed the mark. Wood holds it in on a clearing bid, once, not twice. Monsters spin and clear. Delpy did the honors. 10:55 left in the first. 55 seconds left here on the Gabriel Carlsson minor, his second of the game. Monsters trying to make it a 2-for-2 mark on the kill. They lead it 1-0. Into the offensive zone now. Tossed by Charlotte from the right point, and Kuokkanen across the zone. Tipped was a shot from the left point. They score. Under 30 seconds left in the period, tied at 1. Monsters will spend all but the final 3 seconds of the frame on their first power play. Draw one back by Charlotte. That's a big zone face-off win in their own end. They clear as a result. 20 seconds left now as Peak will start it up as Kivlenix leaves it for him deep in the Monster zone. Former Notre Dame captain Peak up the left side of center. Mateau drifts the puck in deep. Collision near corner. Mateau and Dano can't combine, and Now held in on the right point by Gerbe with 5 seconds left. The puck taken away. Chance for Bishop now. 2 seconds left. Fires Kivletic's a glove save at the horn, and that's how we'll end the opening period.
Well, how about that first period? It's Monsters Flashback, episode number 3, and Tony Brown back with you here. We're presented by HDS Brand Solutions for all your promotional merchandise, print solutions, brand management, and corporate apparel needs. Visit hdsideas.com. So we're one period through. The Monsters 2-1 home overtime win over Charlotte on November the 1st of 2019. And we've got a special guest. Happy to be joined now by Monsters Director of Marketing and Communications, Ben Adams. Ben, I thought this would be a cool opportunity because this game was not only a 1-2-3 Friday, but also a Blue Jackets night with those awesome Blue Jackets themed uniforms. That would be a good chance to talk about the promotional schedule for the Monsters and all of the hard work that goes in to getting that promotional schedule ready at the start of the year. Let's just start with a couple of our recurring promotions. Of course, we just mentioned the 1-2-3 Friday. It's a fan favorite and a staple these last few years. And Blue Jackets Night celebrating our affiliation. But, maybe you could just weigh in a bit on how much thought and effort goes into the promo schedule, because I know it's a big part of what connects fans to the team on a year-by-year basis.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, 1-2-3 Friday and Blue Jackets Nights have been great success for us. And we're always trying to offer something new. So whenever you come to a Monsters game, there's going to be something going on. Even if you're not a diehard hockey fan, you're going to have a good time. So as you alluded to, there's a lot of thought that goes into this process. The great thing about working for the Monsters and being able to work on our promotional schedule is just we have some of the best resources in our league, in the American Hockey League, just with some great ownership and being affiliated with the Blue Jackets and all that comes with that, but also the freedom to do some really fun stuff in the minor leagues. So American Hockey League, you look, there's all sorts of fun promotions, but I think our schedule is consistently up there with most creative and the best. So it's always something fun.
Yeah, I as someone who works and has been to all the buildings in the league and across many different leagues throughout my career, it really is impressive what the Monsters do. What I like about it is the team has found ways to sort of lean on some signature annual promotions, things like Pucks and Paws Night or the Purple Game or Chuck-a-Bear, whatever those things might be. But also there's new, fun, innovative things every single season. One of my favorites from the last couple of years was the Moon Landing Night, which was at the tail end of the prior season to this year, but just great creative ideas all the time. So just take us through a bit of that process. Over the summer months, I know there's a big group of people that contribute to coming up with this promo schedule, and you're heavily involved in that. So just take us through some of the mechanics that result in these innovative, creative theme nights on an annual basis.
Sure, yeah. Well, there's a lot of creative people that are behind the scenes that work for the Monsters. Whether they're part of our creative teams or people in sales come up with ideas, it can come from an intern. We really pool everybody together, take the best ideas, and we go from there. So every summer we usually, maybe not this summer, but we go out on a trip together, have some team bonding activities, and then we encourage what we call green light thinking. So no idea is a bad idea. They can come from anywhere. A lot of times our best ideas are inspired by things like anniversaries, pop culture events, movies that are coming out. And we try and we do a lot of research into what our fans want and try and build a schedule that kind of offers a little bit of something for everybody. So coming out of these meetings in the summer, we'll identify maybe 10 really big nights that we're excited about. And then it takes a team of about 15 or 20 of us in what we call our core team in our Monsters creative side of things. And those are the people that really make these nights come to life. So you mentioned Moon Landing. That was a unique one that not a lot of teams, you don't see a lot of Moon Landing nights. We were excited to do Top Gun night this year. Unfortunately, it didn't come to fruition, but you might see that again next year. And we'll have all sorts of new ideas that I think people are going to enjoy.
Listen, as somebody who's been in a lot of these meetings, I can tell you there are some bad ideas. There are some bad ideas.
Yes, we don't.
There's also a lot of good ideas too.
Ideally, those bad ideas don't end up on the schedule. Occasionally they do, but we learn from them and we can improve the next year. So luckily we've gotten to a pretty good place, I think.
We're talking here with Ben Adams. He's the Monsters Director of Marketing and Communications, and we're between the first and second periods of our third episode of Monsters Flashback, presented by HDS Brand Solutions. We've got the second period coming up, but I wanted to get one more out of you here, Ben, as we go forward. We also factor in a lot in the promotional schedule process what the fans think and what they respond to from the previous season or maybe from even seasons past. How big of a role do the fans have to play, and our season ticket members, our Monsters Hockey Club members specifically, in terms of driving the way we think about what our biggest nights of the year will be?
Yeah, it's huge. And so I would just like to make a plug. If you ever get a survey from our group, please answer it. Know that we do read them and we take ideas. We've had a lot of good feedback from fans that have helped us come up with creative giveaways in the past and theme nights. And really, it's in our best interest to do what you want. So I always encourage people to, if you see me on the concourse, you have an idea, stop me, tell me what you think. And if you ever want to provide any feedback to your reps or anybody with the organization, we're all ears. So we don't think we know everything. And that's the great thing about just the creative process that comes with this job is you never know where the next great idea is going to come from. And it's always a big part of what we do is to listen to our fans.
Well, we appreciate your hard work all throughout the season, and also appreciate you joining us here today. That's Ben Adams, Monsters Director of Marketing and Communications. Ben, what do you say we get to the second period now? It's the Monsters and Checkers. Cleveland going to eventually close in on a big 2-1 overtime home win, but for now, the middle frame on our Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions.
In white uniforms, work from left to right in the second period. In red, the Checkers of Charlotte from right to left. The puck is down at center. We're underway in the middle frame of this one with these two teams knotted at a goal apiece. And off the draw, Cleveland forced into their own end and into a dangerous area, but Adam Clendenning there to save the day as he banks a puck off the edge of his goal crease all the way down the ice and avoids icing in the process. Just underway in the middle stanza. Lofted puck to center, grabbed out of midair by Gabriel Carlson. The Monsters dump it in. By the way, there has been a scoring change, as we suspected there might be on the Charlotte goal. It is in the book now as Woods first make that second of the season, as the tip provided not even by Clendenning, but it just took a weird bounce off the ice and went over the sticks of both players in front of the net. The assists now go into the column of Janne Kuokkanen and Jake Bean on Woods' second of the year. So there you have it. Monsters and Checkers tied at 1, first minute, second period, 5-on-5. Cleveland can't control at center. Checkers take away. They dump it into the Monster zone. Gauthier did the honors. Mateau after it in the near side of his defensive end. Reverse cycle up the near wall, hoping for Peak. Could not handle it. Back down for a little soccer job up the near boards there for Gauthier, picked off by the Monsters. Gerbe couldn't connect with Mateau. It's back to Peak from the center red line. He fires it in behind Nedeljkovic, stops the momentum of that puck, does the Checker goaltender, and now it is picked up by Chase Prisky. 18:30 left in the second period. Monsters 1 and Checkers 1. Here's Charlotte out of their defensive zone. Prisky up the right side. It is dropped in by Forsling, and the puck will rim around behind the Monsters net. Reaching out was Kivlenix, touched away from him. Anton Carlson sees his pass into the center circle for Gerbe. Now fed right side. Delpy, long wrister, blockered away there by Nedeljkovic. Held in left point by Anton Carlson, and after it on the forecheck now is Delpy. Forsling got to it first, but took a big hit near corner from Eric Robinson. Robinson digs the puck off the kick plate there as Summerby provides pressure from the right point. Charlotte hoists it off the glass, back down inside the Monster zone. Anton Forsberg collects there. Up the near side, Robinson tips ahead. Here's Delpy, right circle. Waits without reinforcements. Then will swivel the puck in deep on the cycle. Connect with Dano, far corner of the Monsters' offensive zone. Dano out to the left point. With it there, Gabriel Carlson. Off the far dasher, it will ricochet behind the Charlotte net as we cross the 2.5-minute mark of period 2. Still tied at 1 between Cleveland and Charlotte. Out to center, grabbed there by Carlson. Touched ahead, it's Calvin Turkoff. Right wing lug for Cleveland. Shoulders off the opposition. Tried to fire one back to the right point, and Clendenning got it there. Adam holds the line nicely. In front, touched in close quarters by McInnes, but saved by Nedeljkovic from point-blank range. Maybe the best stop of the game there for Alex Nedeljkovic. Play continues with Cleveland possession as it bounced to the right point. Clendenning offered towards the net. Nedeljkovic with the denial. And out towards the right point, Glendenning holds the line again. His pass into the slot. McInnes shoots one. It's off the leg of Forsling, went straight up into the air. Back down, another sharp angled try, this time from Vigneault, and it's scalded wide. And now off a deflection, Glendenning sends it out of play. Voice of the Checkers at morning skate today, and he says Warsofsky has been fantastic. 10 minutes left in the second period. Game tied at 1. Monsters 15 seconds left on their second power play. They're 0 for 1. Cleveland wins a draw at center after an offside. Into their offensive zone in the right corner. Down to the ice went McEwen after contact with Dano. And Scott has it wedged up towards the far boards. And the Checkers will lose control of it in the center circle. Here's Gerbe turning on the Jets. Right circle, backhands one in front. And scraped off the blocker there of Nedeljkovic. Lofted ahead now, and Kuokkanen, who's released from the box, will receive this pass in the slot. Fired one, and it was blocked by Simpson right in the midsection. He is stung by it, but remains on the ice out of necessity here as the puck is pushed to the end wall behind the Monsters' net and eventually out to center. Ooh, not quite, as it was taken by Mateau, but not outletted forward, so Simpson has to remain in the battle for now until he can race for a chance to change. Looks like he's recovered and is actually going to stay on to provide a forecheck here. So sort of playing through the pain is Simpson. His pass into the slot for Ryan McInnes now. Slides back towards Turkov, who was lurking outside the crease, but he couldn't put one on the 4x6. And Nedeljkovic out to center. Monsters dump back in. Play continues. Charlotte now 2 for 2 in the kill. And the Monsters 0 for 2 at the extra man. We compete at 5-on-5 with 8:45 left in the second. And the game tied at 1 with all of that scoring coming back in the opening period. Monsters heave one out of their own zone, goes all the way down the ice for icing, and that'll stop time. Sending a faceoff back into the Cleveland end. Under 9 minutes left in the middle frame. Hey fans, we'd like to introduce to you the all-new Monsters Monthly Pass, your subscription to unlimited hockey all season long. For just $39 a month, guarantee your seat to every Monsters home game. You can start and you can stop your pass whenever you want. Subscribe to the Monsters Monthly Pass at clevelandmonsters.com/monthly. Really cool new subscription model to become a Monsters hockey club, well, at least a Monsters hockey fan. Make sure we have the right terminology there. 8:25 left in the second period. 1-1 between the Monsters and Charlotte Checkers. Charlotte wins a draw in the offensive zone. They can possess, but not for long. Cleveland takes away. Here comes Turkov. Through the left side of center, nudges one ahead. Slamming on the brakes there and losing his footing was Bean. Monsters guiding towards the slot. It's out to the left point where Gabriel Carlson holds the line. Then Bittner's pass in the slot, drifts back, center point. Glendenning, right circle now, waits and fires and just blasted wide to the right. Held in left point by Gabriel Carlson. Bittner on the far boards, doing some good work in tight quarters there. Puck, though, came free to Lorentz. He prized it off the glass for Charlotte. Monsters counter quickly. Glendenning zipped one ahead. Turkov faced the near circle, sent one in front, but it was between his two targets, Bittner and McInnes. And now Charlotte into the O-zone with a 3-on-2. Left circle, Gauthier pulls behind the net, tries to wrap around at the left post, and it is grabbed by Cleveland's Glendenning, who will lift one over everyone's helmet and back inside the Charlotte zone. And eventually it is distributed back in the direction of Dalpe on the right side of the neutral ice area. 7:20 left in the second period. Monsters and Checkers even at a goal apiece. No scoring yet in this middle frame. Behind his own net now, Prisky will wait there for Charlotte. Sends a breakout pass up the right side. With it there, it is Gustav Forsling. Speeds forward. The defenseman fires in transition. Lifted it high and wide of Kivlenix. Monsters netminder heard it clack off the glass before he reacted to the location of that puck. That's how fast Forsling offered it in his direction. Picked up now by Cleveland. This loose puck left side of their own zone. Dano ahead. Found the red line at center. Dumps it in near corner. Robinson got there. Fired one towards the net. Took a turn off the defenseman for Charlotte and went wide of the cage. Monster still working. Left corner. It is Robinson into the middle. Dano's shot blocked. He tangles there with Prisky. And the puck now flicked all the way down by Charlotte. It'll be touched up by Peak. It's icing against the Checkers. 6.5 minutes to go in the second. Dalpe, Dano, and Robinson. That's your Cleveland personnel. Draw one to Dano. Right wing push. Backhands it in deep behind Charlotte's goaltender, Alex Nedeljkovic. Worked one up towards the left point. Simpson held it in. And Simpson now connects with Dano in the far corner. Just over 2 minutes left in the second period. Dalpe for the Monsters. Into the far side. Now carries behind the net. Which is toward Glendenning. Centered one off the goal stick of Nedeljkovic. Back to Dano, and he blistered it wide. Left point Simpson High slot, Glendening, left circle, Dano in front, Delpy, what a save by Nedeljkovic! Perched that catching glove on the top of his left pad and made a dazzling stop from 0.0 feet out. Wow, Nedeljkovic has had a rough start to the year at 0-4 in 4 appearances, but he's showing some of the ability tonight with a couple of fantastic highlight reel saves that earned him the Baz Bastion Award as the AHL's top goalie a year ago in a championship season. Did I mention he's from Cleveland? Grew up in Parma. Monsters would love to have solved him there, though, as opposed to receive accolades for their great hockey community here in Northeast Ohio. 1:10 remaining now in the second period. Monsters 1, Checkers 1. Picking up at center, it's Vigneault. Darts into the O zone. Fed it right wing, it's Sherwood. Just uses the end wall in the Charlotte zone to feed it back behind the Checker net with 1 minute to go in the frame. It is cycled from Vigneault towards Sherwood and past him. Edged back out for Kuokkanen. Chips to center, taken by Anton Carlson. Backhanded one, pitchforking off the end wall. Nedeljkovic is a goaltender that is very keen to play the puck and skilled at doing so. So he puts it right where it needs to be for Chase Prisky, his defenseman. Up the left side and to center it will bounce with 30 seconds remaining in the middle frame. Taken away from Mateau. This is hammered back in front of the Monsters bench at center. Summerby sent it back into the offensive end now. Behind the net, Gustav Forsling walks it and banks it off the far wall. A little jump ball there here inside the field house for Anton Carlson. As Charlotte won that battle and dumps it into the Monster zone. Cleveland sends it back to neutralize. 5 seconds left. Checkers regroup here. Linton Yemi's going to let the clock run out. 2 seconds and 1. Horn sounds.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions. For all your promotional merchandise, print solutions, brand management, and corporate apparel needs, visit HDSideas.com. We are discussing our, the Monsters' big win in overtime by a 2-1 final on November the 1st of 2019. And who better to get their take on the game and everything else going on right now than the guy who scored the overtime winner. Nathan Gerbe is with us. Gerbs, great to see you, man. How's everything going in quarantine?
Things are going well, thank you. We're busy as a family. It's I'm busier now than I was before, so it's pretty funny that it happens. But when you have kids as young as I do, you become very busy and exhausted by the end of the day. Now I know what my wife feels like.
I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with that right now. I know a lot going on the home front, but also you are trying to stay prepared, right? If the NHL were to resume at some point here, you guys would be right back in business after a long layoff. So what are some of the things you're doing to stay in shape and stay ready if that were to happen?
Yeah, I've had surgery, so I'm fully recovered from that. So I've done rehab for the past 2 months, maybe two and a quarter now, but feeling pretty good. So I've just been trying to stay physically fit and mentally ready to play. I was able to get on the ice a little bit for my rehab a week ago, so that felt nice to see where I was at there. It's gonna be a lot of fun getting going. I see everything that's been thrown around for proposals and whatnot. So I'm just excited that that's being talked about and another possibility to get going, because like everyone else, we just like to finish the year and be in that competitive nature again. That's what we're so built for.
Absolutely. What would that be like, do you think, coming off an unexpected layoff, but a lengthy period of time without not just being on the ice, but just without being in that sort of headspace to compete at that high a level? What do you think that would be like to jump right back in?
It's gonna be physically challenging, no doubt. We're gonna have to be a little bit more mentally stronger. But I think just when you play for as long as I have so far, I believe I can have the switch to flip the competitive nature on pretty easy. That really doesn't have to be pushed or tampered with at all. That's always there and ready to go. So, for the most part, I have to tone it down every day rather than build it up. So it's pretty easy for me to get that going, and I'm excited for that. I love it. I thrive in that nature, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, Monster fans definitely know that's true. They've loved watching you compete in Cleveland over the last couple of seasons here. Before we talk about the game we're flashing back to here, what about Cleveland? It's a place we know that's great for you guys to play at the American League level, but how did the the fans, the entire situation in Cleveland help you get back to where you want to be with the Blue Jackets?
Oh, I think, first and foremost, my wife and I love living here and raising our family here. We're very appreciative towards the Monsters and the Columbus Blue Jackets for giving us that opportunity and to be in Cleveland. I didn't know too much about Cleveland before coming here, but we love this place. We love the people. Fans are extremely passionate and friendly. We love, come to the games, and obviously for me playing when that building's going, it's a lot of fun to play. And I think it's one of the best cities in the American League to play in. And it's definitely because of the fan experience and all the amenities you have to do in Cleveland. So we're very thankful for that, but it's definitely helped me get back along the way. It's given me the time and to get healthy and to play in front of an environment that's NHL like.
Well, we know that the fans love seeing you play in a Blue Jackets uniform, but you certainly gave them a thrill back in the game we're talking about today. November the 1st, you guys were taking on Charlotte, a really quality team at the time, the defending champions in the league. And it comes down to a penalty shot in overtime. If you can flash back to that moment for us there, take us through your approach, but also, just that situation. I don't think I've ever seen a penalty shot win a game.
Yeah, I've never been in one in overtime, that's for sure. I've been in penalty shots before, but not like that, not that magnitude. So, yeah, I think you're pretty confident as a player to have that ability to go one-on-one with the goaltender and be able to win the game. And that's the kind of pressure you would like. And you dream of that kind of pressure. I love it. And, I've gone on that goalie before. I was in Carolina's system and I was playing for the Hurricanes. He was just drafted, I believe, at the time. And he was their young prospect goalie. So I remember going against him actually in a penalty shot in training camp. So I immediately flashed back to that and I couldn't remember what I did. And I believe I went backhand high glove on him in training camp. So I, immediately thought I'm not going to do that because, if this kid, has memory like I have memory, he knows that I'll go there. So I tried to do something and change it up on him. Luckily it went in. He's a good goalie, good young goalie. I got to see that first and foremost in the Hurricane uniform.
Well, definitely a thrilling moment for the fans and a fun one to call. So thanks for that. And thanks for doing this. Great to see you. And just continued best wishes to you and your family here as hopefully we'll be back to NHL hockey and Blue Jackets hockey in the short term.
Yes. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. Hopefully we're all back and doing what we love to do.
All right. Really appreciate it. That's Nathan Gerbe. With that, we'll get back to the action with more of your Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions.
More of those to come while we can, but for now, our game is back and ready to unfold. And as the puck is down at center, we're underway in the third period of this one with the Monsters and Checkers tied at 1. And Cleveland back into their own zone off the draw. Chance in front of Kivlenix there as Kuokkanen was bearing down. Big hit delivered by Sherwood along the far boards on Bean. Cleveland in their Blue Jackets themed affiliate jerseys that are primarily white compete from right to left in this make that third period, and in red from left to right. The Checkers possess the puck and break out of their own zone now here in this final frame. Again, the game tied at 1. No scoring in this one since midway through the opening period. Near corner of the Cleveland zone. Simpson started the breakout, held in center point though by Charlotte. Right circle, here's Geeky, lost the handle as Peak threatened him there, and he was creeping towards the Cleveland net front. Up the near boards, Charlotte sends it back right point. Prisky towards the net of Kivlenix, and he snares it through traffic, hangs on, no rebound. Stops time with 1 minute and 1 second gone by in this third period. Other AHL scores in Springfield, the Thunderbirds all over Hershey tonight. 6-1 Springfield early in the third period. In Rochester, the Amherst host the Binghamton Devils. 2-0 for the home team early in the third. Midway through the third in Utica, Providence up 2-0 on the as to now undefeated Utica Comets, who are 8-0 entering today's game. Syracuse 5-1. They lead Bridgeport at home early in the third. And in Belleville, the Sens and Toronto Marlies tied at 4 in the third period. That's it for your Discount Drug Mart out-of-town scores, presented by Discount Drug Mart, the store that saves you the runaround. Back to action for Cleveland and Charlotte here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio, USA. Monsters and Checkers tied at 1. Here comes Stefan Matteau through center for Cleveland from right to left. Dumps a puck in to Delkovich, the Charlotte goaltender. Puts it there on the goal line for his defenseman, who exits the defensive zone, not for long. Here's Stenlund back into the offensive frame of mind as Forsling stripped him of the puck. And Cleveland will get a partial line change here as Lawrence dumps it in for Charlotte. Chasing after it, Gabriel Carlson. Good job to withstand the push from Colin Markison as Carlson nudges up the far boards for Cleveland to center. Back to Wood, right side of his defensive end. He's got the only goal for the Checkers. Dumps it in behind the net of Matisse Kivlenieks, the Monsters goaltender. This will be sent all the way down ice and wide of Nedeljkovic. Touched up by Wood. It's icing. It's still tied at 1 with the Monsters an edge in shots of 28-18. 19 seconds away from an 0-for-4 mark in the power play. Good seam pass ahead. Here's Dano into the slot. Mateau, and the puck wouldn't cooperate. Oh, a glorious chance there, but Mateau couldn't get that puck to settle flush along the ice. And so the Monsters settle for possession. Center point. Now top of the left circle, Gerbe fed across, long drive, Mateau knocked down in the slot there. It went off the body of Scott. Cleared to center as the penalty expires. Checkers 4-for-4 on the kill. Back to full and even strength with 9:39 remaining in regulation as we continue tied at 1. Andrew Peak for the Monsters behind his own net. Sends a breakout pass ahead to Paul Bittner. His pass off a skate to the left of Nedeljkovic, the Charlotte goaltender. He will shoot it to center where Simpson will intercept and dump it in. Took a strange bounce high off the far corner plexi. Came in front of Nedeljkovic, who snared in the glove. And now it's pushed back to the Monster blue line. Prisky winds, fires that wide left on Kivlenieks. Off the end boards, around for a pass to the right point. Prisky waits and wafts one towards the net. Blocked down by Lawrence. Lawrence will grab it for the Checkers. Feed one off the near wall. Back to the right point, Prisky. Left point, Forsling. His shot blocked by Zach Dalpe. Dalpe couldn't gather it off his shin pads and push to center. So down into the far corner of the Cleveland zone with now under 9 minutes remaining in the regulation portion of our game. Dalpe now fights through contact with Forsling to gain the red line and dump it in. The Monsters change all 5 skaters. Charlotte behind their own net. Gustav Forsling. Linkoping, Sweden native. Up the right side. Gathers with Bean. Pass ahead. Markison. Speedy winger into the O-zone. Tried to center through. Went right through the wickets on his intended target. That was Clark Bishop. Now it's Cole Sherwood. Hits the gas pedal into the offensive zone there, but spun around before he could offer on the Charlotte net. Bean tracks left corner of the Checker zone. Up ahead to Markison. His pass to his swinging centerman was off the mark. And Summerby dumps back down as the Monsters tag on a delayed offside. Play continues. McEwen feeds it to the near corner of the Cleveland zone. Back behind Kivlenieks, the Monsters netminder. It's picked up by Sherwood along the right wall. Kind of skated past the puck. Now recollects along the boards and attempted to leverage it out to center without success. Now it's back to the right circle. Matheos looked towards the net, didn't shoot it. As all over him is Anton Carlson. Great job to put the pressure on. Into the center. Into center ice, I should say. It's Sherwood, found the red line, dumped it in. Under 8 minutes left in the third. 7:30 to go in this final stanza. The game still tied at 1. Simpson the goal for Cleveland at even strength, less than 4 minutes into the game. And then just over 9 minutes into the game on the power play, it was Wood, the Charlotte defenseman, to equalize for the Checkers. And since then, no offense. Monsters dump in from the right side of the neutral zone. The fans chant, "Let's go Monsters." And behind the Charlotte cage, waiting is Wood. Wood looks up at the Humongotron and then shoots one on a line into his own bench. Behind his own net to my right, it is Dylan Simpson for the Monsters. His pass onto the tape of Calvin Turkoff. Finds the red line at center, dumps it in. Far corner to near, scalds around the Charlotte end wall with 2:15 remaining in the game. Still tied at 1, the puck nudged to center again, and Bittner will track for Cleveland. Inside his own line, waiting with it there, it's Clendenin. Pivoting, base of the near circle. Pass forward onto the tape of Bittner. Found the center red line, tossed to the far corner of the Charlotte zone. Nedeljkovic watches this one. Green in behind the net. It's picked up by McEwen. Up the right side for Stelio Matheos. His pass ahead into the offensive zone. And that one only for a moment. Grabbed by Eetu Lostarina. Monsters have it now on the left side of center. Turkoff catches up to a puck between his legs. Inside the offensive end, right side, Clendenin loads into one, and that's a good save made by Nedeljkovic. Got to it there with his left shoulder as Clendenin dropped the hammer. And now just 90 seconds remain in regulation, still tied at 1 as the Checkers and Monsters seek offense. And with it, some sort of finality in this game. Only 1:20 now remains. Far corner offensive zone. At 5-on-5, Mateau and Stenlund collect, and they tried to feed the center point man. They're unable to do so as it goes all the way back down to Kivlenix, and it will be waiting behind the Monsters net on a tee for Simpson. Leaves it for Nathan Gerbe. Monsters captain churns the legs with 1 minute to go. Into the offensive zone on the left wing. Towards the net, Nedeljkovic grabbed it with the glove hand and held on. That sharp angle shot creates an ozone draw with only 53.8 seconds left in the third. Game tied at 1. Fans, don't miss a minute of AHL action this year with AHL TV featuring cutting-edge technology, interactive features, and fan-friendly subscription prices. Available on desktop, laptop, tablet, mobile, and OTT devices. You can watch where you want, when you want, the way you want. Visit theahl.com/AHLTV to sign up now. Final minute, period 3. Monsters with 32 shots have 1 goal. Charlotte with 20 shots on net have 1 goal. Ozone draw left wing side for Cleveland. Scott swipes it towards the near dasher. Vigneault battling with Morgan Geekie there, can't control him. Here comes Colin Marcus in ahead for the Checkers. Stashes forward, hoping for Bishop. It bounces in behind the Cleveland net. Glendening neutralized Bishop. Simpson sent one up the near wall for Scott. He's able to get it to center with 35 seconds remaining in this third period. Back to Simpson in behind his net with time and space and options, and he looks at them. Hits on the right wing, Glendening. His pass at center off the legs of Vigneault. Back to Glendening, goes off the glass. This goes all the way down ice, but on a deflection, there is no icing. 15 seconds left in the game and counting down. Now 10 seconds left in the game. Center. Far side it is Summerby wedging back. This one taken now by McEwen with 4 seconds left. Sent all the way down to the Cleveland zone, and time will expire as regulation will prove ineffective in determining a winner this evening. Monsters. Puck down at center, underway in overtime, and breaking his stick on the draw is Stenlund. So quickly to the bench for a replacement, and he's in to take one away from Geekie, who gets a second chance from the slot, and that's fired and saved. Kivlenix denies Geekie there as Stenlund with a very startling sequence there to begin overtime. It's a replacement stick, but quick thinking for Cole Sherwood. Another right-handed shot to give Stenlund his twig as he broke his on the draw. Face off back inside the Monsters' defensive zone. Stenlund, Glendening, Gerbe against Geekie, Gauthier, and Bean for Charlotte. Face off right side of the defensive end for Cleveland to Kivlenix right to my left. So the Monsters are left to right in white. Charlotte right to left in red in overtime. Tied at 1. Just 20 seconds into the extra frame. Charlotte won the draw. Gauthier has it, stalks into the right circle, slams on the brakes, wheels back to the high slot, leaves it top of the far side. That controlled by the defenseman Bean. Now it's Geekie with space, right face-off dot, fires upstairs, he missed it. That off the glass, now in a foot race. Kirby's gonna catch up to it, breakaway in overtime. Kirby is hacked, and that'll be a penalty shot. Nathan Gerbe's going to have an OT penalty shot. The game goes on his tape. A chance to win it for the captain here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse as he turned on the Jets there, got past Bean, and draws this chance at instant victory. Kirby a chance to win it with an overtime penalty shot. He will attack from left to right. The Monsters captain, co-leading scorer. Left-handed shooter has it at center. Swings wide left, hits the blue line, creeps in between the circles, forehand, he scores! An overtime penalty shot, game-winning goal. Nathan Gerbe sends Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse into the stratosphere as the Monsters win it in the most dramatic of fashions by a final score of 2-1.
Well, how about that? Not every day you see a penalty shot in overtime be the deciding goal in the game, but we're back here with Jaw Calendar, Tony Brown with you to wrap up Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions. It's our third episode of this series, and back on November the 1st, at the Fieldhouse, Jock, I don't think I've ever seen a penalty shot win a game in overtime, and that was certainly a memorable moment, a big highlight for the year, thanks to Nathan Gerbe.
Yeah, I have not seen one either, Tony, and I've been in this game a long time, so it was exciting, and it wasn't just any ordinary penalty shot goal with the hands of Nathan Gerbe and the skill he put on a show there for the fans.
You know, it's easy to see how he was able to make the most of his time in Cleveland. He's been with the club. It wasn't just this past season, but even when he joined up at midseason a couple of years back, he really took full advantage of this opportunity that Cleveland provides at the AHL level. And it was so much fun to watch him with the Blue Jackets throughout the tail end of the 2019-20 season. And, you know, it's like he never missed a beat. He played in the NHL for a long time and got right back to where he belongs. And one of the great guys in hockey. It was really a fun storyline to track this year.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and he's so determined. I mean, you see that the way he plays, and to have that attribute as an older player, a lot of times you lose your zest as your career goes on. But Nathan has not. He loves the game, and he works very, very hard at it.
Yes, he does, and the rest of his teammates worked very hard too in that big early season 2-1 overtime win against Charlotte. Well, Jock, that'll do it for episode 3 of Monsters Flashback, again presented by HDS Brand Solutions. Always fun to catch up with you. Stay safe out on the West Coast, and hopefully we'll see you back in Cleveland before too long.
Yeah, good to see you, Tony. Take care.
All right, that's Jock Callender. I'm Tony Brown, and this has been Monsters Flashback presented by HDS Brand Solutions.